Hey everyone, my name's Prith and I live in Cardiff. My business is called The Creative Thinking Company. Daff has asked me to do a little piece for the webinar just to show you how you could work a little more right-brained in your business, because that's how I work at the moment. So I shared a little bit of this at the Cardiff Damsels meeting, so I'm just creating this now to share a little bit wider. So, right-brain business planning. Your business plan could look like this. A nicely formatted Word document that actually might not be very realistic or very inspiring, or it could look more like this, and it could be very colourful, and it could be more you and more meaningful. So that's what this is about, really, to say there's a different way of working. You don't have to do everything in words, because there's so many other forms too of how you can express what it is that you want to achieve. So for me, I'm a visual person. I do a bit of painting, and I also, for me, so visual works best. And actually for all of us, we respond as human beings more to the visual than we do to the word. It takes a long time for the brain to process and understand, read a word, whereas an image speaks to us straight away. I think the difference is about 600 times quicker. So if you work visually, you can get a lot more down, you respond to it quickly, and then actually you can move on to something else. So working visually has quite a few plus points. But also if your thing is singing or dance or, I don't know, whatever else it might be, you could create a song based on something to inspire you about your business. There's lots of different ways you could work, and I think that's what this month's theme is about saying, let's do something different, and as always, it's got to be something that works for you and that keeps you in your flow. So I'm just going to show you a bit of my stuff, and if you get something from it, that'd be great, but find your own way of working. So I'm just going to share with you some of mine. So for my front page of my business plan, which is always evolving as well, this is my vision for my business. So this is just a collage where I looked for images that spoke to me, that I felt a resonance with, and then I picked up some words and some themes that I thought, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to get. Because sometimes if you write stuff for yourself, it's quite hard to express what you want to express. But if you pick out a few keywords of magazines, it's almost like they say it for you and they tap into something else. And I think it allows you to tap into your subconscious a bit more by doing this process of collage. So this is my front page for my business plan, and it can always be evolving, because we're always evolving, aren't we? So I can add to this, peel things off. When I get a nice picture of myself, I can put me on there instead of this lady. But for the moment, this is cool for me. So my first page is my vision for my business. My second page is article. So this is where I write an article about myself in 5 years' time. So the title is, I'll just give you the title, UK Businesswoman Quietly Inspiring on a Global Scale. So that's me. I'm not going to read the rest of it. So, but if you imagine yourself in the future and write about how you want your life to be and what you've achieved, it's really powerful, because stuff like this is a bit like vision boarding, it can come true. So that's mine. So that's my second one. My next page in the way I work is my page on values and beliefs, because it's really important that you do in your business, you work as closely to what you believe in and your value system as possible. So this is mine. So mine's all about seeing the bigger picture. I've got trust on there, be yourself, keep the faith, energy, and I've got, some things I've picked out of magazines, some things are just my phrases that I've used, because that forms part of my belief system. So that's me. This is success for me. So the first page is about vision, but then when you've got there, or what does getting there look like to you? So this is your vision of success. So this is my little image. This is how I think I'll feel, I want to feel, or how I want to feel now actually. So this is me being successful, my time to shine, stimulating conversation. For me it's all about sitting around with good friends all over the world, having wine and drinking good food and having a good chat. I've got art studio on there because that's one of my dreams to have. And then I get all scribbly. So you don't have to keep it as a work of art, because the whole point is it's functional. And this is something I did on branding. Or it's just about, actually this was where I fit in the marketplace. So this was me, a bit more modern. And these are the people who are a little bit more traditional in their business coaching and myself. So that was a little page about that. This is about my customer groups. This is a bit about brand. So what's the look and the feel of my business? So this was a collage as well, which I didn't spend too long on. I just found that picture and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. I quite like the bold colours in there. So it's all about evolving. And then, you know, you can write as well and scribble. So I've got loads of scribbles in here, as you can see. The other thing I want to show you is my business tree, because I think trees are quite cool. So I think I went to a Daniel Priestley seminar about a few years ago. They were talking about the money tree, and I thought to myself, okay, they just talked about a tree, and then I sort of developed the idea a bit more. So this was my tree. So on your trunk is the core of your business, because sometimes you've got a theme, haven't you, in your business. So my theme's creativity, and I've branched out, and all the branches I've got a different product or service relating to my core of creativity, because there's lots of different ways I could take this, and that's part of the puzzle, isn't it, is working out what to do. But there's lots of possibilities. So the ones I've sort of decided on are these. So I do a little bit of work with small businesses, I do a bit of work with organisations, I do some that business sessions. So they're my products, and the roots are on here. I've put all my background, because everything has led you to what you're doing now, so everything counts. So I've got experience in, you know, managing a public sector. I used to work for the voluntary sector as well, and I did lots of different things. So I've put, and my hobbies as well, so I put stuff in there that are important to me. So I put, as well as work stuff, I've put maybe achievements, and I put my painting as well, because that's really important. So they're the roots, and then I've got little flowers, and the flowers are the people I work with, or have worked with. And it's quite nice, because on that page, on my tree, I have my core, my services, my people I work with, my businesses, and I've got my roots. So just in one picture, I explain quite a lot, and I quite like looking at it. So this is the sort of thing you could put on your wall, and it would remind you what you're about, where you're from, who you're working with, and what you're doing in quite a visual form. So there's that. That's going to show you. Okay, bit of scribbling again. This is sometimes I use felt tip pens. This was one Sunday afternoon in Costa last summer, and I got these special pens that kids have. You know, the ones that are, you know, you can write over them and then they turned out white, so it's quite fun doing things like that. So this was me planning a course that I was doing. I haven't done all of it yet, actually, but that's part of the creative process. And final thing is I'll show you this little book, because everyone loved this book in Cardiff. This is a little book, so you can make your own book as well. So this was a book of postcards which I got, and in this book, what I've done, I've got my new empowering beliefs. So I did a bit of work, and I needed to work on my mindset a little bit. So this is my book of new beliefs. So I've typed them up and put one belief on each page with an accompanying picture. So I have loads of postcards anyway. So that's what I did. So on each page, there's only about 7 or 8, I think, but I've got a phrase and a picture. So this stuff is quite personal, so I'm not going to read it all out, but you can have a look. But all this is you can get a postcard book from an art shop, and all you do is, rather than having to go to a bookmaking workshop, you just overdo it. So that's a little painting thing that I had, that I just make all this stuff. So that's that. And these are art postcards that I just collected over the years, but that related to that, so it seemed quite apt to put that there. So I just did this one evening, because I typed them up, my new belief system, and I thought, it's so inspiring, and it wasn't speaking to me, it was just flat. It was on the page in words, it was flat, and I thought, this isn't doing anything, it's not coming to me. So I needed to represent it in a different way. So this for me worked, and I needed to do it, you know, then and there, and this is all I had, so I just worked with what I had. And now it's quite cool, because I can carry it in my bag, because it's only small, so when I've got a spare moment I can just flick through it and go, nice. So if you want to reprogram your mind, you need to do it frequently, don't you? And, you know, so this is quite handy, and it's really personal because it's mine. So there's lots of different ways you can work, and, you know, you could use something like that for your business objectives or your goals or whatever you want to do, but it's really easy. And, you know, if any of you out there think you're not creative, that's rubbish, because we all are. You know, just think when you were a kid, you used to do everything and anything was possible. So creativity is just about letting your inhibitions go, and it's really about making a mess. You know, don't worry about the end product. It's all about the process. As long as it works for you, that's fine. And I think the messier the better, you know. when you start doing your visual business plan, don't think you have to do every page meticulously. Don't worry about it, because you can always rip them out and put it in another book. It's all about process. So I hope I've given you something there that might inspire you maybe to work differently. So I hope I've given you something. And if you'd like to find out more, I'm going to do a webinar on this, so I'm going to do something with this just to share it a bit more. But if you would like to get in touch, I do work with people, and I'm doing some new stuff now. So if you'd like to get in touch, please do. It's prith@thecreativethinkingcompany.co.uk, and I'm on the Damsels forum. Okay, bye bye.